Hi guys, if you're like me, you know that you should be washing your yoga mat every single time you use it. But if you're also like me, um, you don't. So today is mat wash day at my house in my little home studio. And so I figured it might be a good chance for me to show you how I wash my mats. And since I have a couple different kinds, teach you what kind of mat you have and how to care for it properly. So, what you're going to want to find in your house is flooring that is flat, so not carpet, and flooring that can tolerate getting a little bit of wet. So, my cork floor here in my studio is flat. It can tolerate getting wet, I just can't soak it. So, washing my mats in here is totally fine. I've done it a bunch of times. And you want to have enough space that you can lay your mat out flat if possible. For drying later, you may be able to just hang it over a shower curtain or the back of a chair if you need to keep it out of reach of little kitty cat claws. Let me show you what I use to get started. So first, you are going to want to have handy broom and dustbin. There is nothing worse than a bright, squeaky clean mat. And as soon as you pick it off the floor, there's dirt and hair and everything else stuck to the bottom of it. And as you roll it up, that nice clean surface touches the back of the mat, gets all gross all over again. So step one is clean your room. Step two, depending on what kind of mat you have, you're going to use a couple different kinds of cleaners. So you can make your own mat wash out of just water and vinegar. I used that for many years. It's totally fine, works great, especially if you have a natural mat. It conditions the natural rubber really well, doesn't degrade it. So if you're looking for budget-friendly options, water and vinegar, you can look up the ratios online. It's fine. You can add in your own essential oils. That's also fine. If you want to go with store-bought, which I do because I need everything as easy as possible, even if it costs a little bit more, you have two options. So one is this Manduka that says Yoga Mat Restore, and it is for natural rubber. So this is a really nice option. It comes in smaller bottles, so I decant it into this really big one that has generous spray. This works really well for me. This is great for natural yoga mats. I'll tell you how to tell later. And then this one is their general yoga mat wash and refresh. This one's a really nice option for anybody that has a synthetic mat. So if you know that it's not natural rubber, this is a really great option. You can use this on all mats. Natural rubber just does a little bit better, ages better over time if you use something specifically designed for natural rubber, because it does degrade a little bit faster than our synthetics that are made out of polyurethane and other materials. So as long as you have these two, you're good to go. And then lastly, if you have an open cell mat, and I will teach you how to tell, you are also going to want to have water and some rags. So rags are non-negotiable. You always want to have these handy. I usually actually keep one in my yoga bag. If you're one of those people that gets greasy foreheads on your mat, nice option to buffer that. So let's get started. I just want to show you, even though you might think your room is clean, take a look at that. So next on the docket is to determine what kind of mat you have. So there are two main kinds of mats that are in general production right now. So the first, I'll use one of my Manduka mats as example. This is a closed cell mat. So this eco mat has some texture to it, but it is closed cell, which means that the mat itself is, for the most part, non-permeable. So if I sprinkle water on it, what happens? If I sprinkle some water on here, it pretty much just runs right off. So you can see it dribble all the way down. So if you sprinkle water on your mat and you see it kind of dribble all the way down the mat, you'll know this is a closed cell mat. They don't really get super dark when wet. You know, the difference is not that extreme. That is one way to tell if you have a closed cell mat. If you have an open cell mat, like this other Manduka mat that I have, this is a Manduka Grip series. The other one that I have is Manduka Eco. This also, if you have a silk top mat sold by like Lululemon or anything like that, something that feels super smooth, there's no texture, and I'll show you, you can already see it. If I get water on this, it doesn't dribble, and it immediately gets sucked up by the mat. So if you get water on your mat and it doesn't run down the surface of your mat, it just stays right where it is, and your mat changes color, gets super, super dark, you can see here, this is an open cell mat. Open cell mats are designed to absorb all of the sweat or any water that you may spill on your mat during practice. They are designed to stay super sticky. However, because they're open cell, it means they absorb everything that's put on them. So unlike closed cell, which you can be a little bit more rough with, even if it's natural rubber, these open cell mats, we have to be very conscientious about what we're putting on the mat, for how long that it's there, and knowing that whatever we put on our mat will absorb over time. So I have our two shining examples here for you. So the way that I like to wash my mats, because I have two different kinds, is I will start with my closed cell mat. So my closed cell mat is my Manduka Eco. It's this dark one right here. And I take my natural rubber Mat Restore from Manduka. But if you have water with vinegar in it, good enough, okay? So I start out by spraying this all the way down. The instructions for this mat wash in particular say that you should spray a liberal amount on your mat and let it sit for at least 5 minutes. So I wet it all the way down and let it sit while I start on my process for my other mat. So now, mat number 2, open cell mat. Process is a little different. So with our closed cell, we can spray it down, wipe it off. Done. Easy peasy. With our open cell mat, there are 3 steps. First, you lubricate it, get it all the way wet. Second, then you actually apply your cleaner. Third, you rinse it again. So there's 3 steps to these open cell mats, which is where our handy bowl of water and our little rag comes in. So, step 1 is to fully soak your mat. So this is going to help draw up any impurities that over time have soaked into your mat. If you're like me, you might practice with some facial sunscreen on, moisturizer, or maybe you're just an oily person in general. And over time, as you practice, you may notice that you get some dark spots on your mat. So for me, I'm actually looking at mine right now. I can see a dark spot here from child's pose and a dark spot here from anything that has to do with putting my chin down on my mat, like on a Hatasana, maybe even cobra pose if I allow my face to come down. But you can see how dark this mat gets just by applying water. So I usually wash it all the way down one side, and then I come right back. And so I can see some of these areas where I'm a little bit extra greasy. I can see right here the water hasn't absorbed. Here the water hasn't absorbed. So those 2 spots that I said, my face has a tendency to rest, means that there is something blocking the mat's absorption of water. So there's some kind of moisturizer, sunscreen, just something sitting on the surface of my mat right there. And so this is why it's important to wash your mats regularly, because everything that touches your mat soaks in, especially on these silk top mats. All right, so once that's done, I'm going to take this and get some fresh water so that we'll have it handy for step 3. So next, I'm going to take my yoga mat, wash and refresh. I usually get lavender. That's my favorite. But again, if you just have vinegar and water, you can use your vinegar and water mix here for this second step as well. Always a budget-friendly diva, so if you need to make it work so that you can have a nice clean mat, do that. Take care of yourself. So this mat wash says that you should spray it onto the mat until it's visibly wet. But since my mat is already wet, what I like to do with these open cell style mats, take my rag and my spray and give my actual rag some of that spray here. So I rub it in. Once I do a couple passes, rinse it back out, and do a few more. I usually do 5 or 6 sprays, something like that. Usually until I can smell the lavender in the air. Usually give a little bit of extra love to any of these spots that resist getting wet, just so that I can make sure I'm doing my best to make sure that my mat is nice, clean. And of course, all of our mats age over time. There's no perfect mat. It will not look pristine forever. That's okay. Neither will you, neither will I, right? So now that I've given it a good wash with my actual mat wash, I'm going to get some fresh water one more time for the final rinse. Last pass on this mat. So we just take a clean cloth now, fresh water, rub it all the way down. All right, so now our open cell mat is fresh, clean, washed. All that needs to do is this needs to just be left out to dry. You will notice this color change over time, lighten back up. I promise you have not ruined your mat. Don't worry. So if anything, it will be brighter now that you've washed it, right? Excellent. So now last pass on my closed cell mat. This is why closed cell mats are so much more convenient. They're great for studio use, great for if you travel, because they really just need that initial spray down. I'm going to give it one more with the Manduka Yoga Mat Restore for natural mats, and then wipe it down and we're good to go. All right, so my mat wasn't too bad, but you can tell there is still some discoloration here on my washcloth. Now, whether this is from my dirty, filthy mat itself, or it's just some from some of the natural dyes coming up, I don't know. But I don't like to risk it, so I always do like to wipe this mat down, especially because none of these dirts and oils are being absorbed into the mat. They sit on top of it. So over time, you accumulate more and more and more. So it's good to give yourself and your mat regular cleanings, right? So I'm sure that is even more than you ever wanted to know about how to wash your mat. Last step is to simply leave these 2 or however many mats you have out to dry. So it can take anywhere between 1 to at least a couple more hours, especially if you have these open cell mats. These can take a little while to dry completely before rolling it back up and putting it back in your mat bag. Take this opportunity to put your mat bag in the wash, taking care of any other props that you might have, blankets, straps, even blocks sometimes can use a good wipe down. So that's it for me. Thank you for coming on my monthly mat wash journey, and I hope that I inspire you to be a little bit more clean going into the new year. Bye.